Here's the van. Sanctuary 4x4 by Thor. And so let's see. Got the cockpit, I got my soda ready to go. And it's got CarPlay and all that. And then we've got a TV. And then we've got my sink here. And cooktop. And got a fridge, which is nice and cold. This is where I slept last night. And check this out. Huh? Pretty cool. And then little bathroom. It's a wet bath. And there you go. This is kind of downtown McCall. And then this is the yacht club. Very cool. Okay, so cooking up a little mushrooms, onions, potatoes. I think it looks pretty good for a frickin' camp meal. We are still in Red River Hot Springs, which is, I think, like 20 miles from Elk City. We are way out there. And today I start the actual Magruder Corridor. And the interesting thing about this is if you know anything about wilderness areas are not allowed to have motorized vehicles. I don't even think they're supposed to have horses. But this is the largest and most remote road in the lower 48. And it was kind of grandfathered in. It was like a pack route between Montana and Idaho back in the day. And it is between two huge wilderness areas. The Nez Perce, actually it's called the Nez Perce Clearwater Wilderness Area. And there's a Nez Perce reservation, Indian reservation, Native American reservation. And then there is the Selway Bitterroot wilderness area. So it skirts between those two, and that's why this exists. 113 miles of dirt road to Darby, Montana. Here we go on the Magruder. Whoa. Wow. This road is rough. I passed by this. This is the Mountain Meadows campground. We're only about probably 6 or 7 miles into the Magruder, maybe even less, but I just wanted to see like what these campgrounds are like. I mean, they've got fire pits. All of this is obviously free because it's like, who the hell is coming up here? But wow, this is really awesome. Oh my gosh, this is so freaking beautiful. Holy cow. I mean, first of all, I've seen like 11 deer today. But look at this. Look at that meadow. This ride has been extremely pleasant. The only thing I'm nervous about, and by the way, I just saw the first people that I've seen on the entire corridor. It looked like they were loggers. But there are so many spots where trees have fallen over the road. And, you know, so far, they've all been cut. Like, oh, see, look at this. It's literally like every 50 feet there's, so I don't know if these guys did all this. But man, that's my only concern right now. Look at all of this, these downed trees and the forest fire damage. I had to get out for a little while. It is beautiful up here, but This is getting on the verge of being like a little too much, especially for someone that I'm afraid of heights, and this is just the steep drop-offs. The road is so narrow, and it's so like treacherous. I'm top heavy. I'm hitting the tops of trees as I go by. I'm hitting the sides of trees. It's like white knuckling, super intense, going 10 miles per hour is like on the verge of being too much. So now I am at Burnt Knob, or at least I think it's a smoke lookout, but it's 1.6 miles, and the rip, like, this is you know, you can see it's too much. So but the other cool thing is we're starting to see some snow on the peaks. So we're getting up there. We're, I think, at like 6,000 or 7,000 feet. So I'm going to do this 1.6 mile hike up there and just see what's going on. So let's get going. And just leave the van on the side of the road. I don't know if you can see them all, but there are tons of like little mountain butterflies flying all around. Kind of seems like they're following me too. Just came around the corner, and there's 2 alpine lakes. Oh, there's 3. Look at that. And there's snow. Look at that. It's quite a bit. And then look at where we're going. There's the lookout. I don't know if you can see it. Wow. Unbelievable. We made it to the top. And it is pretty scary up here. But check out those lakes. Really cool. And then, oh my gosh, you gotta be careful here. There's the lookout. So we're gonna go up there, but it's just crazy to think like how we're in the middle of the McGruder, about 26 miles in, which already starts like in the middle of nowhere. And then you have to, I mean, this trail to get up here, I guess they would have used mules back in the day. I don't know how old this lookout is, but you would be so far away from absolutely everything. And God, what a view. What? Holy moly. I am so thankful and grateful that I get to experience this. But not only that, oh my gosh, look at the snow. It's just an absolutely beautiful day. I can probably see hundreds of miles up here. Wow. Look at those mountains out there. Wow. This is an insane spot to be. Okay, well, let's try this. Wow. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine being back here back in the day? This is crazy. This is so crazy. Wow. What a life. Oh. Wow. Wow. What a spot. I mean, looking out the windows, look at your fucking view. Wow. They've got the storm shutters down. Let's take a look at like the main crazy view. I mean, obviously you would be able to definitely check out the smoke, you know? Wow. This is insane. This is so insane. Can you imagine coming out here, having your coffee in the morning, just seeing if there's any smoke out in the distance? And then you're just here. You're just absolutely alone for millions and millions of acres of just untouched wilderness. It is mind-blowing up here. I just can't get over the fact that this place is like in existence and is still here. Where we Look at the... to the van. Hopefully it hasn't tipped over. And then we're gonna go to Observation Point, but I think there's a few, and that's where I'm probably gonna camp. You know, I've gone 22 miles and it took 2 hours. So this road is no joke. Like I said, almost a little too much for me. And hopefully I can continue. Wow, so not only did I run across people, let me see if I can see this. There's a bunch of people up there. They're on side-by-sides. One of them flipped. This road is no joke. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna pop a tire every 5 seconds. And so they're trying to like, they're putting a rope around it and doing it up to a tree, and they're trying to like pull it back over. The 2 people inside, and there were 3 dogs in it too. But they're all okay. I mean, one woman has a hurt shoulder, I guess. Since I'm stuck here behind these side-by-sides, the one, you know, that tipped over and they're trying to get it back, I figured I would just, you know, chill here and have lunch. And what better view? I mean, this is, I got a little calzone, not too shabby. This is the best the road has been in a really long time. The road has just been absolutely treacherous, and oh shit, it's getting a little rough up here. But this is nothing compared to what I was white knuckling through. Look at all these dead trees, man. Jesus. Oh my God. Holy. Made it to Observation Point. There is a campsite here, and I was planning on doing that, but honestly, I'm not really sure what time zone I'm in. But even if it's like 4, I might drive for like another hour, which will get me like another 10 miles. It's just, I'd kind of like tomorrow to not be as insane as today. God, this view is insane. Wow. So I decided to stay. I'm basically still at Observation Point. This is the camp that I was going to stay at. And I ran into a guy going the other way from Darby, and he said, you know, the road gets better moving on. It's basically like a dirt road, so tomorrow won't be as bad as maybe today was. And he said that like, you're not gonna find a better campsite than this. So I just wanna show you my camp. It's amazing. So we've got this. I'm gonna be looking out into the great beyond, and got a fire pit with firewood. Look at this little creek I found by my camp too. So about today, the road was, I would never do that again. It was so scary. The drop-off was just insane, and then seeing a person that flipped a more well-equipped vehicle than mine. But the views are great, and I'm gonna have a great night of camping, and I'm going to the place where they film Yellowstone tomorrow. That's one of the destinations, and then depending on how ambitious I want to be, get all the way down to Salmon. But we have 70 miles left on the McGruder tomorrow, so we'll see if this guy was telling the truth as far as how easy the road is. So there's my camp. And I set up a little spot to have a nice whiskey. So I feel like I kind of earned my keep with this hat today. But I wanted to take a minute to kind of talk about the Magruder Corridor and like what it is and all that. So the Nez Perce tribe had this route basically from Elk City area to Darby, Montana. And they would follow the buffalo. And that's like how this trail started going. And I mean, they had been doing that for centuries, like as long as time had been memorialized. And then once mining became a big deal, this was kind of like the throughway point. It was like the Silk Road of mining in this area. Idaho was not a state yet. And in neither was Montana, I doubt. And so like in the 1860s, there was this guy, Lloyd McGruder, and he was a bigwig in the Idaho Territory. He was going to like run for Congress and all this stuff. And so he took a 60 mule team from Lewiston, Idaho, I think, to Virginia City, Montana. And on the way back, he sold all his supplies and he made like $25K. So he was going back to Idaho. And he hired this guy, William Page, to protect him. And William Page hired these other 3 guys to like be part of the crew, part of the posse. And on the way back on this trail, when they hit the Selway River, the guys under William Page, so it wasn't William Page's idea, but they were like, let's steal the money. So they stole the money from Magruder. They murdered Magruder. They killed all the mules, and they threw them in the river, and then they burned all of the gear, but they kept a few of the horses. And that's important because when they ran away to Lewiston, Idaho, they went back to Lewiston, and one of Lloyd Magruder's friends, Hill Beachy, I think his name was, he recognized one of the horses, and they chased them all the way to California where they were like caught, brought back to Lewiston, and hung. So that was like the first corporal punishment sentencing in the Idaho Territory. So kind of a brutal, story and background, but like I think tomorrow we're gonna see the site of the massacre. So I think that's happening. But I mean, brutal drive today, not as brutal as Magruder's. Having a little coffee. It's about 6:30 a.m. If I'm in the Idaho, the mountain time zone. And so today we've got more than half the Magruder left. And then we're gonna go to, I think it's called Big Chief Joseph Ranch in Darby, Montana. And then, depending on how aggressive we wanna go all the way down to, we'll head back into Idaho and get to the Gold Bug Hot Springs Trailhead, which is another 4-mile hike up to these hot springs. And we'll decide if we want to do that. Probably have gone about 3 miles, and here we are at the Magruder Massacre sign. I guess this is the trailhead. It goes down to the river, but I was right. It was in 1863, and I guess the actual murder site is 5.5 miles down the trail, but this is the trail they were on. Pretty cool. You can really see where we're going because of all of the burn, but there's the road. We're gonna follow that all the way, and then it keeps going. I was just driving along through these mountain passes, and now I'm crossing over this like raging river. It's huge, just out of nowhere. I don't know what river this is. This is, wow. Oh man, I wish I had camped here last night, but my view was epic, so I guess. So here we are in the Bitterroot Wilderness in Montana. This is my first time in Montana. But gosh, this Deep Creek area between Idaho and Montana has just been so pleasant. The roads have been, we're back on a gravel road, but everything's so much better maintained on the east side. So next stop is the Dutton Ranch. Got a pretty good spot. I'll show you how good of a spot it is. I mean, this is the Salmon River, also known as the River of No Return, because it is so fast that you'll never be able to swim upstream. So now I'm in beautiful Elk Bend, Idaho, and I'm gonna head up to the Gold Bug Hot Springs, which are apparently like infinity pools off the side of a mountain. So while I'm hiking out here to this hot spring, I wanted to talk about being on the Lewis and Clark Trail. And I'm going north to south down to Stanley tomorrow. And I was like, why do I keep seeing all this Lewis and Clark stuff? Like, I thought they were going like out west. But it turns out when they hit the Salmon River, they rode it for a little while and they were like, we can't travel on this. Like, the entire fucking river is rapids. So that's also why it's called the River of No Return, because the current's so strong. But that's why, so when they figured that out, they ended up hiring some Indian Native American folks to guide them north, and they eventually had to because the Salmon River was just impassable. So then they ended up going a mountain route and going north and then further west on their trek. Oh my gosh, what a spot, right? Just next to this babbling brook, everything's perfectly, wow, so nice. I love how out here in Idaho and Montana, they're just like, as long as it's leave no trace, like camp wherever the fuck you want, and it's free. This is a hot spring. This is like magical. I'm on a bridge up here. Oh, there's a guy down there. Wow. I think I see the pool that I want to be in. Wow. Wow. Oh. Yeah. And they just keep going. Gold Bug Hot Springs. Well, that place was fucking life-changing. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I know all I say is like unbelievable and wow, but this place truly is. How do I get down? So cool, so worth the trip. If you're ever, you know, near Salmon, Idaho. I've entered the Sawtooths officially, and gosh, I didn't know that I was gonna think this park was so beautiful, but so far so good. It's got a little bit of everything, you know, like driving the riverside, obviously I love that. The high sawtooth, like, you know, ridges are really cool. And we've got about 20 miles to get to Stanley. I'm gonna do a little pit stop, and then I think I found an awesome campground. I mean, it's not a campground, it's just a place in the forest. And then maybe an adjoining hike, so stick around. Check this out. Sawtooths are really starting to impress. So Stanley is awesome, and I think what I'm gonna do is go to this place called Limbert's. It's on Redfish Lake, which is one of the iconic spots in Stanley. It's kind of outside of town, like six or 7 miles outside of town. Get some breakfast and then go on this crazy hike. I got some huckleberry cider for later tonight. I picked up a steak, so a lot of steak on this trip. So this is Redfish Lake. Actually kind of reminds me of McCall, like North Beach, but it's got a dock. And then this lodge, the Redfish Lake Lodge, which I just ate at their restaurant. It's called Limbert's. Pretty good. Had salmon. This will be my last camping day on this Idaho trip. So we got this campsite, and we are right here on the Salmon River in the Sawtooth National Park. So, and then we're gonna do this, it's probably gonna end up being about a 12 or 13 mile hike, the Hell's Roaring Lake. So far this trail is excellent. I was worried it was gonna be a little too barren, but lodge poles everywhere. And then check this out, down here, it's like a huge confluence of, looks like almost 3 different rivers. And of course we're heading towards Roaring Hell Lake. You can see the sawtooth kind of peeking out from over there. I think we're about to get through this. This is just like absolutely magical, especially coming from California, because this trail is basically flat. And I think people are complaining that it like is monotonous the first few miles, but then you like hit the lake and I think you walk along the lake. So I've been loving it. It's so beautiful. The sun is getting blocked by a few clouds overhead. It's just, oh my God. Look at the size of this mushroom. Oh. So it ended up being about 6.5 miles from the camp to this. This is like a very important crag, I guess, in the Sawtooth Wilderness. I'll put it down below once I figure out what it is. But I found this little like beach. I'm gonna go for a swim and just rest. And the best thing about this is, first of all, I'm so thankful. Like, what a day. Like, look at this day. It's just absolutely beautiful. Perfect conditions. It's so quiet. And I just never, when there's something like this, it makes all the hiking and like the uphills worth it. And the great thing about this hike is on the way down, it's like a gradual downhill, which is my favorite type of shit to hike. I know I say this a lot, but like what a spot. The water is a little cold. I mean, it is a snow-filled lake. I don't know how brave I am. I feel great after a swim, and I took a little 20-minute little power nap. 6.5 miles back to camp, and then we're gonna have a steak dinner, pack up, and this is our last night in the wilderness. I only have about a mile left, but this last view, the rapids down there, the Sawtooth Mountains off in the distance. This hike has just really been the ultimate way to end this once-in-a-lifetime journey. I've got another steak tonight. This one's a T-bone. This is my view. That's the Salmon River. And then I'll have the sunset right over there. So not a bad last night. I literally just took a shower in the Salmon River, or a bath. Totally naked. I've gone feral. Well, there it is, my last meal cooked in the wilderness. We had another steak. This is with some buttered bread and some potatoes, mushrooms, and onions with fresh garlic. It's kind of bittersweet. Last night in the wilderness of Idaho. At least for the foreseeable future. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. What a place, and if you, shoot me some comments or whatever, if you leave me suggestions on how to do this loop or whatever, but this is just an awesome